franchise tag at all?
No, like I said, man, with everything's going on, we had great conversation with the Bengals. I think the biggest thing with us, man, we had open communication the whole way through this, and we all talked through the situation. And the best for me is to go out there and play on this franchise tag, and then we revisit this after the season.
AJ, when you and Andy got drafted together in 2011, the fact that you guys started working together right away and established that chemistry.
Yeah.
Now you have another young guy. Important to start together right away and establish the chemistry. What can you take out of your experience with Andy in 2011 that you can apply now in 2020 with the Heisman Trophy winner?
Man, just go out there and have fun. I think for Andy and I, when we first got drafted in 2011, we didn't have OTAs. We went straight into into training camp, just like this situation that we're gonna have to go straight into training camp. So right. I think Joe. Everything I'm hearing about Joe, man, he's a smart guy. So I feel like he can handle all this. He's played at the biggest level. So for him, just go out there and just play his game, and me being in the right spots at all time for him.
AJ, do you look at this period where you couldn't reach a contract and being franchise tagged as now just part of the business? You've been in the league long enough to understand what happened. Do you put that in the right frame of mind for yourself? Oh,
of course. For me, this is not my first big contract. So I think I'm in a different situation than a lot of these guys who got franchised. This is not my first big deal. So, I have money saved up. I hope I should have enough money saved up, so I'll be fine. But I know like the other guys who's been franchised, man, they really have to bet on themselves. For me, 10 years in being franchise tag, I don't feel like that's a bad thing anymore.
AJ, what excites you the most about, I don't know how much you've watched on Joe. You said you think he's a smart guy, but get to play with the number one pick and see there's a lot of hype around this team now, getting that draft pick. What excites you the most about Joe's game and what kind of
for me, just his, his energy. You see the energy that he brings for his teammates, watching the national championship and how fired up he is. A lot of people don't look at quarterbacks to be that fired up, but I feel like he's going to bring that energy to this, to us, the same energy he brought to LSU, man. I'm just excited to get out there with him.
You talked about how when you came in 2011, I remember you talked about how you thought you were going to come in and be with Chad. Didn't happen. So basically it was kind of you and a cast of thousands.
Right.
Now Tee Higgins comes in. And you feel like you can maybe be a sounding board for him that you didn't have when you were.
Oh yeah, of course. That's my biggest thing. Coming in when I had Mo and Marv come in right after me, and now I had TB. Is watching the guy develop and asking questions, and I feel like T's gonna be the same way. A guy that he's willing to work. He's a quiet guy, and I feel like he's gonna really help us out this year.
AJ,
at one point you said, you took a pretty hard line and said you wanted to be tagged or kind of get let go. At what point did you change your tune on that and say, you know what, I'd be okay with the franchise tag? When did that start to shift during the negotiations?
I think for us is having that open communication. Like I said, man, my agent, Katie, the Bengals whole organization, man, we had great open communications over these last couple of weeks, and we all came to terms like, hey, there's a lot of things that are going on in this world. Just let me go out there and play football, and then we revisit this thing next year.
AJ, do you feel like nationally people are forgotten about how great you are a little bit? And does that put a chip on your shoulder? That piss you off a little bit? And does that motivate you to play for another big contract? I mean, after this year, you got an opportunity to sign a big contract.
Yeah, for me, I just want to play football again. I know the work that I put in each and every year, each and every week. I don't get caught up in the, who's better than who, who's the top receivers. But I know what I bring to that table when I'm on that field, and I know the work that I put in. So I'm always comfortable with myself, and I don't care what other people say. But when you put that tape on when I'm out on the field, it speaks for itself.
AJ, I'm going to imagine during this process, you probably received a lot of unsolicited advice from people that always want to tell you something.
Yeah.
Outside of your family, I mean, who did you listen to the most, and what was something they said to you?
For me, it's my family, man. I got a couple of my homeboys just from, college, Justin Houston, Keem Dent, Muhammad Masquire, Prince Miller, man. We all talk each and every day, man. They just tell me, just go out there and play your game, and just believe in God. He still told me just believe in God, man, and everything else take care of itself. So I talk to these guys every day. They always keep me level-headed, man. And then my wife, she's like, you better sign the tag. We're not losing that 18 million. But like I said, man, I am very blessed, and I'm just happy to get back and play football.
Could you have realistically, physically, have just gone through and worked out at home until a week before the season and then showed up and been able to go week one? Was that an option for you? That something you could have even pulled off?
That's never an option for me because I always look at practice as my games, and that's the way I practice each and every week. I feel like if I were to hold out, some guys could, but me mentally, I want to get out there, get with Joe, get with Zach, get in that offense and get in the swinging thing. So when week one comes, I'll be ready to go.
So that was never even a thought for you, I guess?
No, never was a thought.
AJ, but how many elite level AJ Green years of football do you think you still have left in you?
I got at least four great years left in me. Great years. I mean, I always said I want to play 15 years, but coming now, I'm like, man, maybe I can play more. Where my body I feel good. So we see. We take it year by year. Like I said, when I'm done playing, when I feel like I'm retired, when I don't love the game anymore, and I still love the game. I still love the practice. So when that goes away, then I'll be done.
How did you come to that number of 4 years?
Oh, I feel like I don't know. I just came up with that just now. So.
What do you need to do to get a gold jacket?
Just gotta stay healthy.
Have you already done it? Do you think you've already got it?
I still got a lot. I feel like I still got a ways to go, man. And these last 2 years, if I was healthy to where I started these 2 years, I mean, especially 2 years ago, the way I started, I think I would have been up there, but I feel like I still got work to do. I'm just happy to get back healthy and play football, man. That's all I'm care about.
People that have seen your workout say, man, AJ, man, he's still elite. Do you feel like you're still where you were during those prime years? You had the 7-year run where you were, perennial All-Pro. Are you still working out at that level?
Yeah, I still feel the same. My body still feel the same. My workout, my trainers still say I look the same. So I feel like for me, I'm not the fastest guy, but I'm smooth, and I feel like my game translates a lot to when I get older. Because I'm not losing anything. I feel like I'm not losing anything. So, and I still work out the same. So I feel still the same AJ Green from 2014.
AJ, you had what's the issues with the ankle been throughout the offseason? I mean, how's the recovery been? Have you been able to cut on it okay, sprint on it okay? What's that?
Yeah, my ankle's, been fine. I've been running around since February. So my ankle is fine, toes fine. Everything's fine, man. I've been working out this whole off season. Mr. Curtis, my new guy that works up at Adapt, Rez, he went to Georgia with me, so it's my first time working with him. But we did some awesome things and really test my ankle this year.
AJ, how challenging is it going to be considering, there's basically been no off-season workouts to step right in with Joe Burrow and get things clicking? I mean, how long is that going to take in your mind to kind of get in rhythm with him?
I think a lot of people just play into, the how long does it take to get clicking and stuff like that. I feel like, we all football players. We've been doing this for a long time. And Hobbs was talking about how Andy and I came in 2011 and we won 9-7. And we didn't have any kind of expectations. But I feel like when we have the number one pick and what we did in free agency and me coming back, TB's coming back, John, T, and all these pieces that we added on defense, I feel like, the talent level that we have now also is way different than we had in 2011. Our defense was great, but I feel like, our offense really matches our defense right now.
Being a guy that his play would kind of talk for itself on the field, AJ. I mean, you played 9 games the last 2 years. Are you sick of talking? I mean, you're talking with us right now, and you're being great. Are you sick of talking right now, AJ?
Oh, yeah, of course. I'm tired of seeing everything. Oh, AJ should be a top 10 if he would have played. Man, all right, just get the season started and we can get this thing settled.
How apprehensive are you about COVID-19 going into playing this game? There's a lot of talk as to how this, as a player, the guy's going to be getting hit. How do you feel?
it's a tough situation because a lot of these guys have underlying health issues, and so that's a big concern for a lot of these guys on our team, man. So it's gonna be it's tough, but I don't know how we gonna handle this when guys start getting it, and what we're gonna do when they get it. I just hope that we have a plan and a place for each and every one of us. So.
I'll apologize in advance, I guess, for asking this. I want to bring up the first practice last year in Dayton. Is that a mental hurdle, though, going back out there to practice again, that you feel like you're going to have to get over, considering I'm sure that's a vision that you will never be able to take out of your head for a long time?
Yeah, man. For me, I'm a level guy, so everything happens for a reason. That's how I look at it. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen. So me going to practice, coming up, I'm not going to be thinking about anything. If I get hurt, then it's meant to be happen. I'm not going to have that in the back of my mind to try to not go as hard as I need to be just to not get hurt. So for me, it's going out there and play football. Whatever God has planned on me, that's going to happen. So.
I mean, you sound like you feel like you need to prove yourself. I mean, when's the last time you felt like you needed to prove yourself on a football field?
It's been a while. But like I said, I love the game. I just, a lot of people say I need to prove this and prove that. My body of work speaks for itself, and I'm gonna keep bidding on that body of work, like I did coming in 2011. Same AJ.
AJ, if you didn't have the toe injury and kind of in 2018 where you tried to come back and re-injured it, would you have maybe tried to push a little bit more on the ankle in 2019, given what happened in 2018?
No, that had nothing to do with it. For me, I wasn't ready to play then. Everybody knew I wasn't ready to play. Maybe the media didn't know I was ready to play. But Nick knew I wasn't ready to play. My ankle wasn't where I need to be to go out there and actually play at a high level.
AJ, you think this time off in some ways has been a blessing in terms of allowing you to not only fully heal, but get back to a rhythm and regimen that puts you where you need to be? Yeah,
I think, it's been a great off season for me, physically and mentally, just giving me a break. Starting in 2011, I was riding high, 7 Pro Bowls, 7,000 yards seasons. I talk with Hob about this every time, just, having everything so easy, the first couple of years, and the road to greatness is never, this easy. It's always going to be bumps and holes in the road that you're going to have to overcome. And I think these are one of these bumps that I have to overcome. And, I'm ready to prove that I'm still the same AJ.
Well, do you take that wisdom with you going forward now? I think, when you come in the league, you got the speed and raw athleticism, and now you got that wisdom, which is priceless. Do you think all of this now is playing into your hands perfectly?
Oh, of course. Now, I can just go out there and play football. I don't have to just rely on my athletic abilities to get by. I actually understand the game. I know the game of football. I know how to read DBs. I know how to read defenses and little stuff like that I didn't have in 2011. And, I'm just excited just to get back.
AJ, how are you taking care of your body now versus maybe a couple of years ago when you mentioned how it seemed easy in the 7 straight Pro Bowls?
Well, the first 3 years was a little rough. I was still eating McDonald's, but after my 4th and 5th year, I had a chef. I go to sleep. It's still the same thing. I still eat healthy. I still have a chef in Cincinnati. I have a chef in Atlanta that I cook my meals. So it hasn't changed much since 2014, whatever it is. But I got a new trainer that I worked out with Atlanta. He went to Georgia. So I think we did more stuff, trying to testing his ankles, strengthen these ankles, strengthen these toes, learning how to land better, just little things like that that I didn't do in previous year.
AJ, I know you're not a personal goals guy. You're a team guy, but obvious personal goal would be to play 16 games. I mean, do you have anything else in mind, goal-wise, team-wise, or yourself, other than seeing if the football gods will let you play 16?
Yeah, for me, it's just getting all 16 and hope even more after the regular season is over.
Right.
And I always told you, Lap, as we win, my stats will always be there. I don't ever feel like I need to put a limit on what I need or what I don't need to do. I feel like as we win, and I'm all 16, and the sky's the limit for my my stats.
AJ, the Bengals front office has declined to give you a long-term deal in each of the last 2 off seasons. You told Hop earlier today you'd like to play another 4 years and retire as a Bengal. Given the fact that they didn't extend you the last 2 off seasons, would you have any apprehension about signing a long-term deal in Cincinnati in 2021?
I think like the last 2 years, man, I've been hurt, so it always was tough to get a deal done. Especially, I know my value, and also they still need to see me play. And I understand that's a tough place to be when you're running a business. But like I said, we had great communication. That's one thing about this whole process, that we understand each other, and the points that we made with my agent and I, and then the points Katie had made for us. The feeling is mutual that I love being a Bengal. And, I always wanted to envision myself retiring at one team. So that's still on the table. So if I stay healthy, you see what happens.
I see you were wearing a Black Lives Matter wristband on your left wrist there. I mean, what have your thoughts been about everything that's gone on over the last few months and the reaction, not only from guys on the team, but around the NFL?
For me, it hits home because I'm a black male and I have 2 brown boys. So for me, it's always – for me, it's always setting that foundation, setting that example for my 2 brown boys that, sometimes things are not going to be fair just because of the color of your skin, but you cannot let your ego get in the way of whatever that situation is. And you always have to carry yourself as a man and respect that man just to get home. You know what I mean? So never, my point to them is always going to be is your ego is never too big than your life, So always carry yourself as the utmost respect and respect everyone, and treat everybody like you want to be treated. So for me, it's starting that at a young age and teaching my 2 boys the real value of life and respect and manners like that. So,
do you envision any protests during the national anthem, and will you be doing anything during the national anthem this season?
For me, it's always on the groundwork. I don't get into all that other stuff. For me, it's always what I'm doing in the community, what I'm doing, teaching my 2 boys, and how to help, the young generation coming up of Afro-American boys and black boys coming up. It's teaching them the way and leading by example.
You mentioned, Joe Burrow, how intelligent he is at the combine. He made no bones about, man, we've got to have A.J. Green as a weapon. I mean, did you see anything he said at the combine? And what did that make you feel like when he was talking about your importance to not only his success, but the team's success?
It felt good, having a young guy coming in and watch him talking about he needed old me to help the team out. It was very pleasure to have him say that. I know the type of player he is, man. I know he's a dog. I know he's a dog for a fact. So I'm excited to play with him, man. I'm just can't wait to get back out there.
Have you met Joe in person yet ever?
No, I haven't met him, but we text a couple times during the offseason. We all the receivers, we all in the group chat together, so we stay in communication. So,
AJ, have you allowed yourself to think about the potential of this wide receiver room? You and John have only played, I think, 9 games together since he was drafted. Mm-hmm. Have you been able to think about the potential this offseason?
Oh, man. I get excited just thinking about it. I know I just talked to TB a couple minutes ago. So, yeah, man, when John, T, TB, AE, man, our whole receiving crew, it's going to be Tate. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun, man. We're going to definitely push each other to be better, and that's really going to help our success as a team.
Everybody, I promised AJ I'd try to keep this to about 20 minutes, and we're there right now, so please just a couple more.
AJ, I know a lot of things. It must be weird hearing a lot of things be said about you during an offseason. People talk about you. Is there anything that you heard or you felt like was said about you that was just really got you maybe more mad than other things, or just felt blatantly wrong and just disrespectful almost?
Not really, because I I don't be on social media like that, so I don't really care what people say. I try to keep myself in a bubble, stay in the reality, stay with my family, stay with my friends. So I really don't care about what people say, or it really doesn't matter to me. That comes with the territory. So, like I said, I'm just ready to get back playing football.
Has Tee Higgins told you yet that you were his favorite player growing up?
Yeah, I talked to him. T's a great guy, man. I know we all know we know a lot of guys. I mean, mutual friends. We all like in the same circle. So I know T. I talked to T a couple of times, and I know that he's gonna be ready to work and push and push everyone, push me, and we're gonna be pushing each other to be better. So.
AJ, you are loved and adored by Bengal fans. Now you're back in the fold. What would you say to Bengal fans that have supported you over the life of your career here?
Oh, I just want to say thank you, man. I really appreciate all the support these last 10 years, man. I hope it be even more. Really special. You know, Cincinnati will always be a special place in my heart, no matter what happens in the future. So I'm just very grateful.
Why is it important to you to finish your career as a Cincinnati Bengal, AJ?
Oh, just the guy. Just the guy I am, man. I always show the loyalty to the people who gave me the chance from the get-go, and Cincinnati gave me that chance. And coming year 10, coming off of 2 injuries and still getting franchise tag at $18 million, it's kind of crazy. So I just hope I can stay healthy, get back to the old AJ, and keep building this thing.
Would you care to hold your wristband up and let us get a good shot of that?
Oh.
Thank you, man.
Okay, does anybody have anything else? If not, we'll let AJ go.
Congrats, AJ.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks, everybody.